Your morning blitz begins now.
Yeah, let's do it up on a Monday. A gorgeous Monday, too. Mostly sunny, high at 80 today. It's a golf day. I'll take it.
All right.
How are you, Kelly?
Good. How are you?
You know what? Not great. Exactly.
Why?
Because first and foremost, I left my belt back in Detroit, and it's sending my tism through a roof right now. Because these pants are just loose enough where they kind of slide a little bit, and my T-shirt won't stay tucked in, my undershirt won't stay tucked in, which is just driving me bananas. So I'm just like squirmy.
I wonder if there's like a rope or something.
I think I'm going to have to swing by the store, but there's no way I'm going to go the entire week without a belt.
No.
And the other thing is, coming up this weekend, Hell City Tattoo Fest going on downtown, and I'm going to be hanging out a little bit, but on Thursday, I'm going to get a new tattoo, and then might participate like in the tattoo contest. And I had this idea that I wanted to put on the right side of my chest. It was like an on-air radio sign, and it had like headphones hanging over it, had a microphone. But the detail inside the tattoo for the headphones and everything would be hard on the amount of space that I have. So I sent Dante another idea that kind of was more of a thin line design, and it was a little bit smaller, so it wouldn't require as much detail to fit on my chest.
Right.
But then over the weekend, Nora had a great idea and said I should do the opposite side of my forearm, put the on-air sign here, and the headphones and microphone here, and on my forearms. And now I'm scared to email Dante and be like, hey, I know you've been working on this piece of art, but what if we did this instead?
Well, it is going on your body for life, so I would say that you should get what you want. Absolutely.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Can't give in to peer pressure.
No. Like you do, people do with a haircut. You know you just got butchered, but you still say thank you and you tip.
Right. How was your weekend, Kelly?
It was great. It was great. We went to a friend's birthday party Saturday evening, and it was at this outdoor venue. And they had a band and all. It was really great. And it was so cold.
Yeah.
It was so cold. I mean, the sun ended up shining, so it was sort of nice. And the day kind of turned around later in the afternoon, which was great. But, yeah, we didn't stay that long because I was freezing.
That's always the worst. You're like, I want to be here.
I wasn't dressed warm enough.
Yeah.
I needed my winter coat, I feel like. And I just, but it was nice. So, yeah, we had a great weekend.
Oh, good.
You were in Detroit.
Yep. And, again, great time, minus missing the belt now. In fact, coming up here in 1 hour, I cannot wait to share with you. We have to talk about the draft a little bit, but there's something involving the draft and Ohio State's first-round pick, Tyreek Williams, who's going to the Detroit Lions. Because I did something that Nora doesn't know about, and I cannot wait to share with you. Vic, how are you?
Dude, I'm great. My weekend was awesome.
Did you fish?
No. But speaking of the draft, I'm a huge NFL fan, but I usually only follow about the first 3 rounds, and then I get bored with it.
Right.
But this Shedeur Sanders drama, man, had me glued all weekend, so that was great. The Cavs blowout of the Heat was awesome. They'll finish that sweep of that first-round playoff series tonight over the Heat, so that was great. And then have you guys ever heard of this? We got this new little carry-out restaurant over on Mill Run called Hibachi Dash.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of that?
Oh,
no. I made hibachi Saturday night.
Did you guys poop your pants over the weekend?
Did not.
No, and that was the thing about this place. That didn't happen, which always happens at a hibachi restaurant. You have 15 minutes after dinner. You better have a bathroom. That did not happen. But the food was so good. I was blown away. You would have thought it came right off the grill at like a Japanese steakhouse.
They either figured out the secret or aren't making it properly. I don't know which one it is if it's not making you.
But it was awesome. The amount of food was huge. We have leftovers for a whole second dinner.
Yeah, I made homemade hibachi on Saturday night, so that's what I'm eating for the week.
Oh my
leftover
God.
Homemade hibachi.
So if you have a hibachi dash around, I know they have more than one. I highly recommend it. And then finally, yesterday I decided, let me just take a look, see how far out, what's going on. I checked the weather for Mother's Day weekend. Partly cloudy, high of 80 every day.
All right, let's fingers crossed that doesn't change.
Even what if it drops 10 degrees? That's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I couldn't believe that.
That sounds perfect.
For Mother's Day weekend, the weather's never that good.
Is that Sonic Temple weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you call it what it is? Sonic Temple weekend.
No, Mother's Day weekend.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sonic Temple weekend.
I'm just saying, but normally on Mother's Day weekend, our weather sucks.
First look ahead. So fingers crossed it remains that way for the future forecast.
Great weekend.
All right. Let's go to Monday. Blitz Morning Trivia. What you got, Thick?
All right. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for the new Predator movie. Looks absolutely incredible. And I just want to know what the subtitle of it is. So you got Predator, and a subtitle.
Okay.
What is that subtitle? First one to text in the correct answer at 99700. You will get $25 to go spend at Waterbeds and Stuff.
Hey, let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick, what you got for us?
All right, we got a new Predator movie coming, and it has a subtitle. We wanted to know what the subtitle was, and it is Predator Badlands.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. So a lone predator gets tossed out of his tribe. You know, so there's tribes of these predators. We didn't know that in the first movie, but yeah. And so he gets tossed out, and he forms a bond with a human girl named Thea, who's played by Elle Fanning. And they team up to fight a very feared, formidable opponent together.
Okay.
So that's
who is working more than Elle Fanning?
I know, right?
She's in everything.
She has been putting in work for sure.
Movie comes out on November 7th. That's when it's in theaters. And got to say congratulations to Nick Knox from Mechanicsburg. He was the first one to get the correct answer. He's got $25 to go spend at Waterbeds and Stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstores.
Congratulations. I had a bit of a realization this morning on something I need to work on. I need to look inwards a little bit, which I think we should all do from time to time. And as I was going through our daily prep of what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about, I was like, I want to double check something because I don't watch much basketball. You know, I'm following along with the Pistons, obviously, being the home team. But the other team I'm keeping an eye on in the playoffs is the Los Angeles Lakers, who just lost again last night to the Timberwolves. They are down 3-1 in their series. But here's the thing. The only reason I care what the Lakers are doing is because my 16-year-old stepson's best friend and I have been going at it over the past, 3 weeks.
Oh, you're beefing.
We're beefing because he's of the generation and of the belief that LeBron is the GOAT. While, of course, we all know MJ is the GOAT.
Right.
And we were in the car just yelling at each other. I have sent him so many texts of flops that LeBron has done on the court. And I'm like, this is your GOAT. This is your GOAT. So realizing that my only hope is that I get to then rub something in a child's face is probably a reason I shouldn't, because it also makes me think back to last Friday. Because I was at Happenstance Brewing out in Marysville, had an unbelievable time. What a crowd, just a blast. There were a bunch of kids there. They have this family fun atmosphere. They have board games and a place to hang out outside, food trucks. So there was a lot going on. So not only were we giving away tickets and having people register for 2 hours, but in between those windows, we also had gift cards to give away. So we play some fun games and things like that. So they had brought out this game we have in our prize closet. It's like a putt-putt game.
Yeah.
But it's also like skee ball, where there's a ramp and the ball can go up the ramp and if you land.
Yeah, right.
So we're having fun. So I get the game out. I make the announcement that we're about to give away a gift card. Anyone and everyone is available to play. Just come on over. So I go over to the game, and already there's a little bit of a line. And right there's this kid who's 4, 5, no more than 5. This little young man. And I'm on the microphone, and people are lining up, and I was like, hey, buddy. Excuse me, buddy. Hey, buddy. We got to get going here. And he's oblivious. Right. No idea I'm standing over the top of him. And then I'm on the microphone. I lean into the top of his head, and I'm like, hey, buddy, you gotta move. Nothing. Now people are laughing because the kid's just oblivious that I'm there. So I stand back up, and I go, move! He turns around and he leaves. And I'm explaining the game, and all of a sudden I hear mumbles. Oh, no. Oh, no. I turn around. This kid is bawling in his father's lap. Absolutely snot bubble bawling because I yelled at him.
Okay, but hang on. Where was Dad when you were asking him to move initially?
Dad was in the chair, and I turned around, and I was like, oh, no. I was like, buddy, I was just kidding. And the dad was laughing.
Dad was cool.
Dad
okay.
was cool.
Right.
He knew what happened. And I go over to the buddy and I give him a high five. And I was like, buddy, I was kidding with you. We gave him a T-shirt.
Oh, good.
But between
you made a kid cry.
I totally made a kid cry.
The Morning Blitz, making kids cry since February 2025.
So in between making a kid cry and hoping a team loses to just rub it in another child's face, I think I need to look inwards at my relationship with children and young people.
Yeah, tell your stepson's buddy, LeBron's not even the GOAT of his own team.
Yeah, really
That's
send
Kobe
him off.
Bryant.
Yeah, really send him off for sure. So I'm gonna do a little inner work on myself and my relationship.
Oh, please don't change that thing. I love it.
You're right. I'm not going to. 997 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, so we all know the story about snakes on a plane. And a lot of us know a story of someone who had too many margs and pooped their pants. But this time, we're going to switch it up, and it's snakes on a marg and poops on a plane.
Okay.
First story coming out of Southwest Airlines. A Southwest Airlines flight from Chicago had to now be taken out of commission because police were called to Chicago's Midway Airport on Saturday after Flight 418 from Philadelphia arrived. And as the plane landed, one passenger stripped down naked and pooped in her seat.
What?
No explanation. No real follow-up to the story, which is very disappointing.
Could I give maybe an explanation?
Absolutely.
I have had to sit on the tarmac in a plane, and they won't let you go to the restroom. And I had to pee so bad, I thought I was going to, pass out. It was so bad. And if I were, wasted, I feel like maybe I would have just gone.
And that goes back to the question I've posted before. Let's say you're in one of those extreme moments, like you're on the ascension, you're on the runway, the plane is jetting up, you start flying down the runway for your takeoff, or you're on your descent back into your city, and it's like everyone take your seats, can't stand up, and you've got to poo. Are you risking the no flight list and pooping your pants, or are you saying forget this? I'm going to the bathroom on the plane because I'm not going to poop my pants.
But didn't you say she stripped naked?
She did strip naked.
Yeah, would you do?
That's a little different. That's an extra step.
Right.
Some people need some freedom when they're actually going to do a...
I used to work with a guy who stripped naked every time he pooped. Took all of his clothes off.
So did George Costanza.
Yeah, I've heard of people like that. It's so weird.
We have a lot of people that come up and they texted in. They do that.
That is so weird.
It is weird.
So maybe that's the only way she's comfortable going.
I guess.
So sue her.
Southwest obviously put out a statement. Nothing is more important to Southwest than the safety of customers, blah, 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 blah. Wasn't clear on what happened to the passenger or if anyone got a refund, anything.
How about the fact that there's no video of this anywhere?
Right?
I mean, come on, people. Where were you in the clutch?
It's got to pop up.
Depending on videos here.
I'm going to keep a close eye on TikTok today. I bet it pops up somewhere. There's no way you have a plane full of people and someone strips down and poops and no one gets video.
I've got to see this.
I'll have a follow-up for you.
She had to be in the back row. Nobody got video.
That's true. Second story coming out of Henrico County WRIC News reports that a woman was at the Patron Mexican restaurant and cantina in Sandston a couple days ago. And, take a listen to what she had to say that happened to her.
I leaned in to take a sip, and I noticed that something hit me on the forehead, and I looked at my husband like, what was that? And when I turned around, I saw the snake in my margarita, and I just jumped away from the bar at that point. It was moving. It started wrapping around my straw. They grabbed a stick trying to get it, and I was just like, please don't let it go in my purse. Another man that was having dinner on the other side of the bar came, and he grabbed it and took it out. I left shaking like I was traumatized.
Yeah. Snake lands on my head. I won't be a little upset. There's a photo. The snake's wrapped around the straw.
There's a baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, how big is this margarita?
No, it was a very small snake. Apparently, it came out of the air conditioning unit, they said.
Oh, gosh.
And crawled into the margarita?
Well, no, it just fell.
Into the margarita.
Hit her in the head and then fell into the margarita. Yeah. I would not be happy.
I feel like I might not ever drink a margarita again. That'd
be something that could, set you off.
Yeah.
That'd be a little PTSD triggering.
Oh, that's all you're gonna think about every time you get a margarita.
Yep, absolutely. I'm double checking and making sure I'm never sitting underneath an AC vent ever again. There you go. That is your not so breaking news. 99.7 The Blitz. 46 minutes into our Monday, 46 minutes into our work week. And let's get Rick all riled up nice and early in the morning.
I'm over it, man.
The 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees were introduced. And we got some good ones, I'm not going to lie. You got Cyndi Lauper and Outkast, Chubby Checker. Can't believe Chubby Checker's not in there already.
Hey. Oh, let's rock.
Throw out the devil horns.
Woo, everybody mosh.
Don't hate, Vic. We did have some absolute rockers that did get in, though. You got Bad Company. Well deserved.
Finally.
Bad Company.
You mosh into this one, Vic?
No, I'm not moshing
this. Valid point. What about Soundgarden getting in?
I crowd surf with this bad boy.
Oh, yeah. No, people will mosh to Soundgarden. They'll find a way.
Here's a question, though. And I hope I get this right and I don't sound like a total idiot ass right now. But, no, now that I heard that note, I know I'm not wrong. Who's better? Chris Cornell and Soundgarden or Chris Cornell and Audioslave?
Chris Cornell's Chris Cornell.
Well, yeah.
I mean...
True.
You're just saying which band
who do you like? Who do you like better?
I'm as far as the number of songs, I'm going with Soundgarden.
Okay.
But I love both of them.
Okay. Next question. And finally, also in from my hometown of Detroit, the White Stripes are in.
Oh, I love Jack White. He's so deliciously weird. I love him.
He is
talented.
I know Johnny Depp's in a band and all, but Jack White is like the Johnny Depp of the music world.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's good.
The most interesting of people.
Yeah, just quirky and somehow makes weird sounds sound good.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So, obviously, well-deserved, good for them, but it seems like they got in pretty quick, as opposed to some other bands that waited a while.
Chubby Checker.
Like Bad Company, yeah. Again, good for them.
And once again, the fan vote meant nothing.
Yeah, Fish did win the fan vote. 330,000 votes. Bad Company came in second. Billy Idol was third. However, it counts as a single ballot of the 1,200 that are cast, so really doesn't...
all those people voted for nothing.
That is true, yes.
My gosh.
Ahmet Ertegun got in. If you don't know, he was a record label executive. If you saw the movie Ray, he was brought in to help Ray write some songs. What was the name of the song? Oh, darn, I can't remember. It's one of Ray Charles' first big songs that Ahmet helped him write. So, there you go. Quite the class. Maybe. I don't know. I can see both sides of the argument.
You can?
Absolutely I can.
I just don't get it, man.
Who's in, who's not in. I'm trying to find the list of who got left out, though.
Well, Billy Idol.
Billy Idol got left out.
Fish got left out.
Fish did get left out, even though they won the fan vote.
Last year, Iron Maiden won the fan vote. And nothing.
And nothing.
You know. And again, for me, my problem has never been about these other artists and their talent. They're great and everything. But when real rock artists are getting passed over, for these people, when you got real rock artists getting passed over for Cyndi Lauper, thankfully Mariah Carey didn't get in.
She will.
But that's my biggest issue.
She will.
Real rock band's not getting in, Boston's not in, and it goes on and on.
Right. No, I get it.
But Cyndi Lauper's going in? Come on.
She was a big influence on the music world back in the 80s.
I just feel like it's about money, that they're trying to get a new group of people to come in there and support them and give them money.
Check it out.
So they're adding all these other pop artists.
Speaking of music, here's one for you. Shocker. Who would have ever guessed this? I bet if you were to place money on this, if you were to make a bet at a casino on this happening, for every $1 that you bet, you would have won 3 cents. Why? Because everybody saw this coming. Billy McFarland has put the Fire Festival up for sale.
Oh, really? What's he selling? Nothing?
Right. What is it you're selling? The name Fire Festival? Yes, the brand is up for sale. He says the festival requires more capable leadership and is distracting himself amid growing issues surrounding Fire Festival 2.
Who wants to buy this brand? It's absolutely the most, worst. That's the worst brand name you could ever purchase.
100%.
It's like purchasing the name Adolf Hitler. Nobody's purchasing that. I mean, it's not that bad, but I'm saying, it's got negative connotations to it.
If you are looking at purchasing some real estate investment, I got some land in Chernobyl I want to sell you.
You're right.
It's amazing. Here is Billy McFarland talking about selling Fire Festival.
So I think it was the long and hard realization that, fire is way bigger than me, and I'm holding fire back. So if I'm not in charge and I pass the reins off to somebody else, I think the brand can go and flourish. And unfortunately, I'm holding it back at this point.
Well, so you think you are holding it back? Is it because your name's attached to it?
I think my name is attached to it, and the combination of Fire and Billy just creates such a massive media wave right now that it just scares a lot of people off. And privately, they're very supportive. They're giving us everything we need to make Fire Festival 2 happen. And then once it goes public, people just get scared.
Oh, is that right?
Privately, everybody's in support.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Is that what 3 people told him or something? I mean...
If that. Maybe 1. Yeah. Good luck on selling this thing. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we kind of have heard the last of Fire Festival. It's just going to fade off in the distance now.
Kelly said, what are you selling? The name?
The name.
Just the name. Somebody can now use the name. That's
it's not like you have a bunch of stage equipment and other assets that come along with the sale.
Or a history of anything.
Of anything.
Other than fraud.
So demise, yes, absolutely. So if you've got, I don't know, some change in your car,
right.
give Billy a call.
You guys remember that guy who got the water out of customs?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he comes along with the deal. He'll do about anything to help you be successful.
Tell Billy to repay him, and then he'll take over Fire Festival for sure.
Crazy.
99.7 The Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
Court this morning for the man who allegedly robbed the Fifth Third Bank branch on France Road on Saturday. Police able to track a license plate on the vehicle used in the crime, which ended up coming back to a car that was rented by a 69-year-old man named Anthony Collier. He was arrested. How are you 69 and robbing banks?
I love old man crimes. Oh.
What is happening there?
I don't know, but I always had the dream of I'm 69, I'm good. I want to do one thing I've never done before. I'm robbing a bank. However it goes down, it goes down.
I mean, that is a real risk.
Hey.
What do you figure 69 is all you really want to live? You're as old as you want to be?
If I am 69 years old and I have got a softball size, non-removable fatal brain tumor.
Oh, okay.
I'm robbing a bank.
Yeah, but they're going to be able to recognize you so easily.
Oh, 100%. But I don't care. I got 3 months or whatever.
Dude's got a giant knot on his side of his head.
Oh.
What kind of trauma are you leaving people with? Like the poor teller.
Yeah, but I'd be the really nice guy.
Would you be like, listen.
My note would explain everything. I would pass the note and say, look, I got 3 months
armed.
to live.
I'm not. I have 3 months to live. On my bucket list.
I would point at the noggin, the egg on my head, and be like, look, this thing's going to kill me in 3 months.
Yeah.
Just give me the money so I can run out of here.
Yeah.
I don't. Even if it's a die pack, give me the die pack. If it explodes, it explodes. I don't care.
Yeah, do what you need to do. I'm not going to hurt you.
Exactly.
Okay. So
in fact, I would probably just use a finger gun. I would stick it in my shirt and use a finger gun.
I think all you do, if you just hand him a note that says, I have a gun and I want the money. I don't think you even have to put the finger in.
No, you get charged with it's more...
Even faking a gun?
Yeah, the charges are worse if you even fake that you have a gun.
Really?
Yes. But I feel like if you went up there and said, I have no weapon, you could press on this egg-sized lump on my noggin and probably kill me right now.
Like listen, and I would just push on it.
Oh, God.
Ew. This made the weirdest turn. All right. The Drug Enforcement...
If you don't give me the money, I'm going to squirt this on you.
Yuck. I think that's a
forget the gun. Forget the gun. I got brain goo.
Gross.
Everybody down!
Oh, my gosh. My stomach hurts. Ugh.
Mine too, from laughing.
Somebody move! Sorry.
The Drug Enforcement Administration said it detained more than 200 people, including members of the U.S. military, at an unlicensed underground nightclub in Colorado early yesterday. The DEA special agent in charge says alleged gang members were there as well. Multiple agencies raided the club in Colorado Springs, and of the nearly 300 people inside, there were at least 114 who were illegal migrants. The rest were all detained, including service members from Fort Carson, Colorado, alleged members of MS-13, and alleged members of Tren de Aragua. Authorities seized weapons, cocaine, pink cocaine, and meth.
What is that, designer cocaine?
Right.
I don't know. It's like a Walter White type sitch.
The Louis Vuitton of cocaine.
And they say they found evidence of prostitution and human trafficking.
Well, let me tell you, they're gonna put Fort Carson on lockdown. As someone who lived a long time in Colorado Springs and did a lot of work with like the nightclubs downtown, like if there was ever a bar fight, the soldiers would come over from the base. They would do like a 6 week like blackout where the soldiers weren't allowed downtown. They couldn't go out to the nightclubs. So they got soldiers involved in this. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of lockdown.
I bet. Sinners continues its incredible run at the box office this weekend with a $45 million total. That's only a 6% drop from its $48 million opening. This is the smallest second weekend drop for any movie with a $40 million plus opening since the box office run of Avatar in 2009.
Wow.
That's how well this movie's doing. Sinners only had a $90 million budget, so it is, it's doing great. It's paying off big for Warner Brothers. Movie described as a vampire horror thriller. It's a period piece set in the 30s Mississippi and stars Michael B. Jordan as twin brothers. And I tell you, I have seen so many raves, but I saw Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick, his wife, raving about this movie.
Gotta see it.
Well, now I'm going to go because today's the only golf day really for the week, so I'll probably go see it this week then because I was on the fence about it, but with all these rave reviews, now I got to go check it out.
You'll have to let us know how it is. All right, those are your three things.
All right, well, we now kind of have an idea who's going to be joining your favorite teams for the 2025 football season as the NFL draft has wrapped up after 3 days on Saturday. And, it was kind of headlined by one major story, and that was Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback from Colorado, who some people said was going to go top 5 and then dropped the first round. And then a lot of people thought he was going to be picked first on Friday with the Browns' second round pick. That didn't happen. And next thing you know, he's not picked until Saturday in the 5th round by the Browns anyways.
That's crazy.
To me, and I'm not, this by no means are we getting political or any of that stuff. I'm just saying it really is a study in the human brain on how one story can be seen from two different angles. Because yes, there are people who are actually pulling the race card. People are talking about, Deion Sanders and what he did at the pro day and telling the scouts how he should, how Shedeur should be showed off, and people don't want to deal with Prime. If you're the coach, you don't want Coach Prime coming in and telling you what to do. And then other people are saying he went 11-12 at Colorado.
Right. Didn't
break any real records.
Well, you got all of these, quote, analysts telling everybody, oh, he's a first-round pick. Like you said, had him ranked top 5. And then when he keeps falling, those analysts freak out because there must be a conspiracy. This can't be happening, because what really happened is you were just wrong, dude. As an analyst, the teams let us know what they thought. I mean, we knew he was falling out of the first round. We didn't know he was going to fall that far, but they were simply wrong.
It'll be really interesting now, especially if you're a Browns fan, because they did draft another quarterback ahead of Shedeur Sanders.
Dylan Gabriel from Oregon.
Yeah.
Went in the third round. How does he feel right now? Why'd they go get Shedeur when they got
Well, now you've got a quarterback competition. And you know what? On top of all of it, who cares? Go out and do your job, and you can end up being the second to last man picked in the draft and be the greatest quarterback of all time. So
But the prank.
Oh, yeah, that was. I don't know if jail time is the right answer, but this kid, did you hear about this?
I did.
This kid, the son of the defensive coordinator, got a hold of Shedeur Sanders' draft phone and actually called him.
The Falcons defensive.
The Falcons defensive coordinator, and called Shedeur saying he was going to be drafted next. Here's the call.
Say it one more time for me.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Ready to go! What does that mean?
What? What did he say?
I don't know.
How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone?
You heard that?
You said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
I mean, just a jerk move. He came out and apologized. Said I made a terrible mistake and messed up with that moment. I'm sorry it took away from your moment. I was selfish and childish. I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of my life. Thank you for taking my call earlier today. I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me.
He saw it on his dad's iPad, the phone number.
Jerk move.
How old is this kid?
21.
21.
Oh, he's a man.
Yeah, he's a man. Yeah, absolutely. All right, but let me share with you another story from the draft, and that is the fact that with the 28th pick in the first round of the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions, my Detroit Lions, took Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle, OSU. Beast!
Yes.
Can't wait for him to be on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson and what that defense does. But a little history here. I shared with you that before Nora and I met, before we started dating, before we were engaged, a few months beforehand, she was single and had herself a little fun with Jonah Jackson, who was a lineman for the Detroit Lions. He was an offensive lineman for the Detroit Lions. And they had a little fling for 6 weeks or whatever. She did it for the plot. Why wouldn't you? It's an NFL player asking you out. Flew her to Vegas for the Pro Bowl.
Wow.
What he did was he hit her up in her DMs on Instagram. Said, "Hey, what are your digits?" And sure enough, got the digits. And they ended up hanging out together. And so what I decided to do after I found out that Tyleik Williams from OSU was drafted and coming to the Detroit Lions, when Nora was in the shower on Saturday, early afternoon, I grabbed her phone and I went to her Instagram. And I went to Tyleik Williams' Instagram page, and I sent him a DM that says, "Hey, welcome to Detroit and the Lions. I have a history with OSU grads who come to the Lions. Hit me up." So, I don't know if she got a response. She didn't say anything all weekend. So I don't know.
She's probably packing her stuff and moving.
Let's find out. Bonnie, hello?
Hi.
Hi, Bonnie. Quick question. Check your phone real quick. Go to Instagram and see if you have any DMs.
Oh, no.
I just want to know if anything new came through.
Aaron.
What?
Oh, Aaron. Aaron.
Things are getting serious. You got called Aaron.
What did you do?
What? Oh, my God.
Did you get a response from one Tyleik Williams yet, or no?
Thank God, no.
Okay.
I'm unsending it.
Can you unsend it after all this time?
Well, I hope so. I'm trying.
Just do me a favor and let me know if he responds, okay?
Yeah, and you will be the one to respond.
Oh, I'll be the one. All right. I'll start a conversation with him.
You can manage that relationship.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Wow. Oh, that was a good one.
I thought so, too.
I hope he sends something.
I hope he responds. I really hope he responds.
And then she could say, this was my fiance's way to make friends with you.
Right. Right. I know Frank. I know Frank Ragnow. We can all get together, hang out.
Right.
Be a good time. Just saying. So, eagerly awaiting that response. We'll see if it happens. It's 99.7 The Blitz. Welcome to your Monday. It's going to be gorgeous, sunny and high 80. I'm going to get out and golf today. It's about the only day I'll get out and golf. Got a busy week ahead, lots to do. So to make sure that I was fully prepared after spending the weekend home in Detroit, having to drive back, it was traffic. There was traffic last night. The roads were packed last night at like 5:30 for some reason, trying to get back into Columbus. So it took longer than normal. Just a lot going on. So to make sure I got a good night's rest, I had a little gummy plus some.
Okay.
Usually I have a gummy to help sleep, but on Sunday nights I have a little gummy plus some.
Just chomp the head off
to make
another
sure
one.
I sleep well. But as I'm dozing off, usually that gummy kicks in and I start thinking about things. And so, as I do on Mondays, I wanted to share my gummy thoughts with you. Thought about this as I was falling asleep last night. Due to our skin having multiple layers, we're all technically lasagnas.
Ew.
So think about it. Just layer after layer. Technically, it's impossible to skip breakfast unless you eat nothing all day.
Oh, how about that? First meal of the day comes at some point.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. This crossed my mind as I was falling asleep last night. The better you look in an outfit, the more someone wants to take it off of you.
Yes.
I thought about that because Nora on Saturday night. I've thought about this. 7 years of bad luck for breaking a mirror seems a bit excessive.
A little bit.
Like, really? 7 years for a mirror? Can we take that down to like 1 year of bad luck? I'd appreciate that. I thought about this while falling asleep last night. Just about everyone agrees, or can't we just agree to have the gas tank on the driver's side and just be done with it?
Agreed. Why do you need the little arrow on the,
Yes.
I don't need that. Just put it on the same side of everybody's
every car. Universal. We all know it's on the driver's side.
Yes.
That way you don't have to be weird and try and be like, oh, wait, crap. And then I got to back in. I got to pull up and back in.
No, yeah. Have you ever I'm on the wrong side,
Yes.
and then you pull in and you're still on the wrong, you pull around and
Yes.
you're still on the wrong side? That's embarrassing. I have done that, and I did that probably in the last 3 months.
The last 3 months?
Yeah, I was in my mom's car. I'm not used to it.
I thought about this while falling asleep last night. Indiana Jones has a pretty impressive travel budget for being on a teacher salary.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
that's true.
He goes everywhere, all over the world. And forget just the plane ride there. Then he's off in the boonies. That's expensive to travel out where there's no travel, basically. Thought about this while falling asleep on my gummy last night. Homeless people are what normal people look like for most of the history of humanity.
Yes.
They didn't have, like, all kinds of nice clothes and stuff. Most people, through most of human history, just wore kind of like rags and whatever they could find. Makeshift shirts.
Yep.
Yeah, think about like the homesteaders and like you don't bathe,
right? Wash their clothes,
changing your underwear every day,
right? Thought about this while falling asleep last night. Being a non-smoker in the 60s through the 80s must have been awful.
Yeah.
They smoked everywhere.
Airplanes.
Yeah, offices.
Emergency, the waiting room in a hospital.
Everywhere and anywhere you could just smoke. So if you're a non-smoker, it must have really sucked for that.
Yeah, it did. As a 5-year-old kid, when both your parents smoke and the windows in the car are all rolled up.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, that was involuntary secondhand smoking for me.
The restaurant, smoking or non-smoking, it's gonna matter. Your restaurant's full of smoke.
You got the booth on the dividing line of the smoking, non-smoking section.
So stupid.
Really, thanks. Such clear air around here. And finally, I thought about this right before I fell asleep. We all know the Incredible Hulk. He's become an amazing comic book character, an amazing movie character.
Don't make him angry.
Well, I thought about this. If the Hulk was an egg, if he became angry, he'd become an avocado.
Okay. Yeah.
Grow bigger.
Bigger egg.
Green.
I like that.
Get angry.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good
But it's
one.
an avocado.
Love it.
And then it was off to La La Land for me. There you go. Those are my gummy thoughts from last night. It's 99.7 The Blitz. Welcome to your Monday. If you're on your way to work, I hope it's just the best work day ever for you. In fact, have a great week is what I hope for you. There's a chance if you're heading into your office, you work with multiple people, there may be a person or two there that has a nickname. And there's a chance it might be a secret nickname. Like they don't know that you call them that, but everyone in the office just knows this person has earned this nickname for something they do or don't do. And so I found this list online. I thought it was absolutely hysterical. 800-821-9970. Is there someone you work with that has a nickname? And why did they get that nickname? Like this person whose nickname is C-section. Because he's scared of labor. This person's name is Brisket. Thought it was because I loved barbecue, but no, it's because my coworkers think it takes 8 to 10 hours to get the job done.
Oh, that's funny.
This person's nickname was Keth. It's because their real name was Keith, but they were missing an I.
No way. That is crazy.
So they called him Keth.
So his name's really Keith, but it's spelled K-E-T.
No, he's physically
he doesn't
missing
have
an I.
Oh, my God.
Did you not get that? He's
I was
literally
looking at that.
missing an
I've
I.
seen the word in my brain, and I just was thinking about the letter I.
Worked with this guy who was 63 who absolutely loved Transformers. He had the decal on his car, all that kind of stuff. We called him Optimus past his prime. Worked with a coworker who used to one-up every story that you would tell.
Yes.
Oh, you did this, but you know what I did?
Right.
Used to call her Pizza Hut because no one outdoes the hut. This one's a little messed up. We called this coworker Simba because his uncle killed his dad.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What?
Wow.
We had a coworker who was we nicknamed Lunch Meat because he was from Alabama and most likely inbred.
Oh, my God. That is a great name for inbred.
Had a guy with his two front teeth were missing, so he only had his canines showing, and we're pretty sure he had a drug problem, so we called him Count Cracula.
A one.
This guy was named Mortgages because we worked at a construction site and he had one wonky eye, like a lazy eye. So one eye was fixed and the other was variable.
Oh,
so we
no.
called them
My
Mortgages.
gosh.
And then finally, worked with a coworker who was deaf. His nickname was what?
Dang.
People are ruthless.
Brutal.
800-821-9970. You have a coworker that has a nickname, maybe they don't know about it. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
It's Jeff. How are you?
Good, Jeff. You have a coworker with a nickname?
We sure do. We call him Deuce. Every time he goes in our bathroom and takes a crap, he mars it all up, and it's bad stuff.
His nickname is Deuce.
That's great.
That is messed up, but I love it. Thanks for the call, man.
Somebody said work with a guy we called Houdini because if you looked away for a second, he'd vanish.
Gone. Yes. Oh, God, we got to get to these. 800-821-9970. You know what? This has got to be common because this is the second one we got from this. 2 people have now texted in. We have a coworker named Foreskin because when things get hard, he disappears.
How about this one?
Great.
Somebody said they call a guy at work Cabbage because he has a really bad tattoo of a rose that looks more like a cabbage. So they call him Cabbage.
800-821-9970 is the phone number. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Damon Crawford.
Hey, Damon, can you turn your radio down for me? I want to hear you clearly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. What? All right, you work with someone with a nickname?
Yeah, we called him Hot Pocket because him and his father-in-law got in a fight over the last Hot Pocket and they went to jail. He was hollering, "Hey, Hot Pocket."
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a great one. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Yes, my name's Billy.
Billy, coworker with a nickname?
The Lister, because they like to show up after the work is done.
Oh, yeah.
Good
That
one.
is a
Call him
good
Blister.
one.
That's fantastic.
Love it. Thanks for the call. All right, 800-821-9970 or 99-700. Shoot us a text. Give us a call. We want to hear about your coworker with a nickname, whether they know about it or not. It's 99.7 The Blitz. All right, work nicknames. Sometimes your coworker has a nickname they know about. Sometimes you and your other coworkers get together and name this person a nickname just because of things that they've done. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning.
Anthony, what is your coworker's nickname?
Well, which one do you want? Because I got like 6 to 8 of them.
Oh.
Two of the PG-13 ones that we can say on the radio.
That are the best.
All right. I'll PG-13 it. One of them I call him Glow Stick because I just absolutely love just...
That's not very PG-13 if you're dropping 4-letter words.
Shake the dog. You like to shake the dog crap out.
Yeah, shake the dog crap out.
All right.
All right. What's the other one?
The other one's Motion Light because he only comes on to work when he sees the boss coming.
Oh, Motion Light.
Motion Light.
Okay.
That's great.
That is a great one. Thank you for the call, man. I hope you have a great Monday. What you got over there, Kelly?
I've got one that says, I worked with a guy named Wayne Bruce. We used to call him Man Bat.
That's great. That is great.
Wayne Bruce, we called him Man Bat. That's a good one.
Jessica Nichols has a group of guys that are gym brothers at their work, and they all wear fanny packs, so the group is called the Fanny Pack.
The Fanny Pack? Oh, the Fanny Pack. Yes. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. Got a coworker we call Kit Kat because he's always taking a break.
Oh,
Give
I
me a
love
break.
that. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that
Kit Kat bar. Can we all collectively agree that people who bite into Kit Kat are psychos?
Oh, instead of like breaking them apart?
off one piece.
Oh, you mean
I agree.
the four together?
Yeah.
Like biting?
Yes. Just
Who?
take a bite into it.
What kind of savage does that?
People do it.
That's crazy.
They belong in an insane asylum.
Yes.
Just putting it out there. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, it's Tristan. How y'all doing?
Good, Tristan. All right. You got to keep it PG-13. Do you have a coworker with a nickname?
Oh, yeah, we call him Seaweed.
People just dropping bombs.
Do we know something do they know something we don't know about the FCC and saying the SHI word?
Was there a conspiracy theory sent out on social media? Everyone call the Blitz and say the S word today.
Word.
Well, we appreciate the call, man. Thank you very much.
I do love it, though. I feel like we should be able to say that, but maybe after 10 p.m.
I had to dump him. He said seaweed because the guy floats around and smells like crap.
Right.
So, but he said, So I just want everybody to know what he said.
3 in a row. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Cliff.
Do not use the S word, but tell us what your coworker's nickname is.
Lantern.
Lantern. Why Lantern?
Bright. Not very bright. Need somebody to carry him all day.
That's a good one. Love it. Thank you for the call.
This person says they are working with somebody who's always hitting things with his forklift, so they call him Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes.
That's a good
Ralph.
one.
I did that in a forklift in between radio jobs one time. I just got a job at a warehouse, and they sold industrial rolls of carpet for like apartment buildings that were just doing all the same carpet and all the same.
Yeah.
And so I would drive the forklift and move the carpet rolls onto the trucks and things like that. At one time, it was early in my forklift career, and I put the whole because this particular forklift for the carpets has got this 8-foot long bar sticking out the front.
Yeah,
because no.
Oh.
This is a single javelin bar because it sticks into the middle of the carpet roll. So you have to be able to pick up the carpet roll by the tube in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's just one little 8-foot, 10-foot long thing. Drove it right through a wall.
You gotta have good aim with that too.
You do. Yeah. It was a lot of fun driving that thing though. What you got, Vic?
Dylan says they call a guy Stripper Glitter. He says this boy burnt up the hydrostatic motor and practically brand new sprayer, sent metal through all of the hydraulic fluid, and it looks like Stripper Glitter. So now he is Stripper Glitter.
He is Stripper Glitter. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is Nick.
Nick, do you have a coworker with a nickname?
So it's not a coworker. It's actually my son, but it's hilarious how his nickname came about.
Okay.
His nickname is Stubbs.
Stub? S-T-U-B?
Stubbs with an S.
Oh, Stubbs. Okay, why Stubbs?
Well, that's the whole joke. He has no deformity or anything like that. We were literally sitting at the kitchen table one night, and I looked at him and was like, this is your nickname. And anytime anyone asks us, we're going to tell them they have to ask you because it's a personal question.
So you're just setting him up for life of people asking him, why is your nickname Stubbs? Why is your nickname Stubbs?
And it's hilarious. All of his friends call him Stubbs. His teachers call him Stubbs. It's ongoing.
I love when that happens. I love that. Thanks for the call, man. What you got, Kelly?
Let's see here. I don't get this one.
Uh-oh.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Chip because he has greasy hair? I don't know what that means.
Because
what does that
he
mean?
rubs potato chips in his hair?
That's so mean.
I have no idea.
I don't like that. Stop doing that.
No, that one crosses the line.
Yeah.
That one's mean. Can't do it. You can't make it personal. Has to be about their work ethic.
Yeah.
Or their backwards name being Wayne Bruce. So we call him Man Bat.
Larry says they call me Biscuit because I soak up all the gravy work.
Oh,
I like that.
That's a good one. Yeah, see, that one I like for sure. If you've got one, 800-821-9970, like this one, 0338. We call him Nuts because he's just hanging around all the time. Good for you.
This is a good one. Well, and I've heard this in this room before.
Uh-oh.
Somebody said they called their coworker Goldfish because she cannot remember a single thing she's told.
Okay, that's a personal attack. That's what Nora calls me.
I know.
I don't like it. It's 997 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Virginia Jeffrey, the woman who accused Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew of sexual abuse, died by suicide. Her family announced she was found dead at her farm in Western Australia. She leaves behind 3 children. Jeffrey alleged that Epstein trafficked her to Prince Andrew, who sexually abused her when she was under 18. Jeffrey and Epstein settled a civil lawsuit back in 2009 for $500,000. She then filed a suit against Prince Andrew in 2021, and he settled with her in 2022. Well, it looks like a growing number of Americans are relying on loans to buy groceries. A Lending Tree survey of 2,000 consumers ages 18 to 79 found that 50% reported using a credit card to help cover the cost of food. 25% of those surveyed say they use like Klarna or Afterpay, like the buy now, pay later loans to buy groceries. So that's great.
The good news is, it's hard to find good news in this story, but if you have PayPal, pay in 4, there's no interest or anything. I don't think you can do. They let you do just break down 4 payments. Yeah.
Ohioans are paying less for marijuana than when recreational sales began, but prices do remain much higher than in Michigan. When recreational sales launched in August 2024, the average price of flower was $9.40 per gram. Now it costs about $6.30. So that's a bit of a reduction there. That's according to data from the Ohio Division of Cannabis Control. Again, that's progress, but not enough to keep Ohio consumers from heading to Michigan, where customers pay $2.29 per gram. I mean, it is way cheaper up there. Now, experts say Ohio's prices will continue to drop, but parity with Michigan may not happen here because we regulate our weed here much differently than Michigan does. In comparison, Michigan does not limit the number of grower licenses. They let cultivators grow outdoors as well. Ohio does neither of those. We severely limit the number of grower licenses, and we do not let cultivators grow outdoors. Listen to this. Michigan has 1,796 active cultivator licenses. Ohio has 37.
Wow.
So we have no product here. That's why it's so expensive.
And those 37 are making a ton of money.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So that is obviously the main reason for the price difference. Michigan has way more product. They say Ohio's indoor facilities cannot match what northern Michigan's outdoor growers produce. Now, it does remain illegal to carry weed over state lines, but apparently nobody's really stopping it.
Oh, it is illegal.
It is illegal. It's a
Okay.
federal crime.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I guess nobody's really managing the border between the two
So
states.
that law existed before it became legal then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because,
Can't cross state lines.
And so our politicians think the best thing to do is raise the taxes on it. That's great. And limit how much, you can grow as an individual. So, great.
Yeah, so I just thought it was an interesting explanation as to why people are so insistent on going up. It is worth the cost of a tank of gas
It is.
to get up there and back.
I can't believe the difference in the flour price.
Yeah,
huge difference. All right, those are your three things.
All right, you're waking up on a Monday. It's going to be sunny and 80. There's a chance that over the weekend you participated in some debauchery. It happens. We all have bad habits. But when should you cut the bad habits out? That is the question for a healthy lifestyle.
Yesterday.
Well, before yesterday, I can tell you that much right now. Here's the thing. Scientists tracked the health of hundreds of children born in 1959 until they were 61 years old. And they found for those who regularly smoked, boozed, and lounged around in their younger years ended up sicker and more depressed. On average, those people's health began to decline at the age of 36.
Ooh.
What? I thought I had till 50. I was giving myself till 50.
But to change things?
Yeah.
Good
Probably a little too late when it comes to 50.
Yeah, like you can abuse yourself till 50, and then you have to really turn around and do something to fix it.
One researcher says our findings highlight the importance of tackling risky, healthy behaviors as early as possible to prevent damage from building up over the years. So basically, enjoy your partying and debauchery until 36, and then you need to cut it all out. But here's the thing. Then you hear all these stories from 112-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, bacon and bourbon every morning.
Yep.
And it's like, wait, what?
I smoked cigarettes for 102 years, and I'm fine.
And I'm right.
I do think it's kind of weird to see middle-aged people partying really hard a lot.
It is.
It's kind of strange. Like I always feel like you should be a little bit more in control of your life.
Don't judge me.
Well, I never understood getting completely wasted. Like we talk about the people we see at Sonic Temple, 2 p.m., they're passed out on the grass. They haven't seen the show.
To me, that's just like you have been looking forward to a party and you've just really misjudged how much your body can handle.
Right.
Like that's sort of an event. I'm talking about a regular, somebody who goes home and drinks
just every
12
day,
beers a night, and on the weekends they're partying super hard,
power drinker,
completely loaded. I don't know how you live that way at the age of 40, 45. How do you live that way? 50, 55.
We'll definitely do like a Sunday fun day and go out for brunch. And then maybe go to play darts or pinball or something.
Yeah, this just sounds like a fun time.
I'm also not passing out
or falling down.
Yeah. Right.
I think I can't handle alcohol. That's why I don't get it, because I don't understand how you don't suffer for days after a bender. Even a one night of having way too much to drink and you're just having a good time and things get away from you or whatever, that can destroy days of my life in recovery.
Right.
But most people who party like that have a tolerance and they don't have that effect.
True. I'll tell you, one thing I have learned in getting a little bit older, if I happen to do it, I'm good for one shot. That's it. I can't. That's what really will. I call it putting the hatchet in my forehead, because you wake up with just that thumping headache, and it's one shot. That's it.
My thing is, once I get started, I just am I'm fine. I'm fine to keep going, and I'm never fine to keep going. It's 100% of the time I get myself in trouble if I get started. So
just don't start.
I just don't start.
Well, if you want to make changes, and you're over the age of 36, what they're saying is basically do it now. It's just, but for people who don't drink, it's kind of you're the same person all the time.
Well, what if you smoke?
Well, I would say kind of the same thing. You don't think smoking changes your personality at all?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so,
I'm talking about weed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I misunderstood because you said if you don't drink, you're the same person all the time. But you're saying
an inebriated person is usually different than your other person.
Yeah.
So, and if you smoke, you could do it just to be a more relaxed person,
right? Or
find things funnier,
right? Or you become funnier,
Who knows? So there you go. If you want to make some changes, now's the time to do it. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, let's start with the Weedster egg hunt. Yes, there's a chance that you participated in an Easter egg hunt. But this guy decided, no, I'm going to do a Weedster egg hunt. That's
Weed!
An accused drug dealer in East Texas is facing charges after police say he filled at least 5 plastic eggs with weed and hid them for his customers to find.
Not in Texas.
I'd be so mad. Dude, I just paid you for an ounce. Don't go hiding it somewhere. I don't want to hunt for my weed. Come on. Happened in Lufkin, Texas. The guy's name is Avante Nicholson, and cops found out about it after he posted photos of the eggs on Facebook. You put it out there on social media.
You live in Texas, dude.
He told people, whoever shopped with him that day, they would get hints revealing where the eggs were hidden. You would no longer be my dealer. There's no way you're sending me on a hunt to go find what I just purchased. Police found 4 of them. The 5th egg was actually hidden in a park, found by a man and his granddaughter the day after Easter. In fact, most of them were hidden in parks. Cops also found at least 1 egg behind a Motel 6. Altogether, they had about over a quarter ounce of weed in them. They're still trying to track down Avante. Don't go. I'm more mad that he sent his customers on a hunt to go find what they rightfully purchased.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. Do you think you were being funny?
I mean, if you want to have a fun Easter egg hunt and give it away, that's great.
They were giving it away, right.
But if you live in Texas, don't post it online.
It's illegal there. You can't do that.
Smoke weed every day.
And finally, in your not-so-breaking news, on Friday night in Los Angeles, the world's first sperm race took place. We've been talking about this is an actual thing.
I will say, for somebody who's usually a wet blanket, I will say that I watched the video that you sent, and it was really interesting. It was. As a science experiment. It was really interesting, the video.
It was like an obstacle course. Like they had to go down a tube, and then there was this circular thing that they had to find their way around to the exit to another tube. And, yeah. So in case you're wondering, a student from USC and a student from UCLA, 4 competitors went head-to-head, and then came down to the finals. Literally head-to-head. Just the tips. I included weigh-in, statistics, pre- and post-race interviews, betting opportunities, live commentary. Yes, I said betting. $325,000 was bet on sperm racing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
Did you see the, you can't call it a weigh-in, but the trash talking beforehand.
It's just
between these guys.
And the one guy was so far out in front of the other one.
Oh, it
was crazy.
Not only did they have betting and odds and weigh-ins, they also had commentators. Here is the commentating from the race.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is to determine a champion. One more time, UCLA on top, USC at the bottom. This is for all the marbles. Send the swimmers through the finish line. Oh, my God. And this looks like a tighter race. They're neck and neck. Tristan with a slight lead there. And we'll see how they make it through these turns now. Remember, that big ball is the halfway marker. Sometimes having more swimmers doesn't mean that they're faster. These are head-to-head. We might have a photo finish. This is going to do it. Tristan Milker explodes through the finish line. USC wins.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're a little too hyped for being the commentators at a sperm race. This is not WWE. You need to bring it down a notch. It's a bit much.
So they're, one of the things they really wanted to do with this was bring awareness to fertility.
Right.
Because, Kelly, we talked about this a couple years ago. They have been, surveying globally men's sperm counts. All right. And the average sperm count in 1973 compared to today, men's sperm counts are down over half.
No, I believe that.
So you think about that. And if they're still falling, what happens when they get to zero?
Yeah.
Population will end.
How would you feel if you were Ty Dolla $ign, the hip-hop artist, and management calls and say, hey, you got an offer. We want you to perform at halftime of the sperm race, which is exactly what happened. Hip-hop artist Ty Dolla $ign actually performed.
Well, I can't get the Super Bowl, but
I can get the sperm race. That's
you probably
right.
get paid more. Super Bowl doesn't pay, right?
Probably not. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's your Not So Breaking News, 99.7 The Blitz.
I'm tired of your goddamn rock and roll, anything goes lifestyle.
This is your Blitz Rock Rundown, the Monday morning edition. Rock and roll!
Hey, what's up, Tess?
Hi, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. I am so mad. If you had the opportunity on Friday to jump on the Blitz Facebook page, you would have seen a video because I came in Thursday afternoon, tested afternoon drive for Ronnie Hunter on Thursday and Friday, and I had a couple of stops for the tour to the temple. And I came in on Thursday afternoon, I knocked on the door, and I opened the door. No one's in the studio. And I was like, oh, Tess is... And I go... And so I stand by our window, which when you open the door, when you're coming in the studio, no one looks to the left. That's where the wall is. You just go directly to the right to where the console is. And so I stood against the wall for probably 20 seconds. Tess is on her phone.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, can I cut my brakes? And she was like, eh! I'm freaked out. So Friday, I have another stop to make. So I come in, and I get to the door, and I just slowly creep the door open with my phone. And sure enough, there she is. And I was like, hey, Tess! And she's like, yeah!
Oh, I didn't see that one.
I go to pull up the video. I had it on photo and not video.
Oh, that's why I didn't see that one.
So mad because she peed her pants again.
I peed a little that second time for sure.
The other one that you got the video of is still up there.
It is.
You can still go watch it.
But here's the funny part. After we're done laughing, she goes, I am so mad at myself because I pulled up. She had the security cameras open on the computer. She was watching for me to pull in so she could try and get me. Mm-hmm. And she happened to step away from the computer for
1 second.
Look what happened.
Second.
She would have seen me walk up to the door because we got security cameras facing the door and everything.
How about that?
She missed it.
I'm going to be prepared next time.
We'll see.
I'll be prepared.
Well, now you need to construct a plan to get him.
That's the plan.
A successful plan.
Right. Don't ever step away from the console, ever.
I'm just telling you. I bring guns to knife fights. No, I don't know if you want to start this.
I don't think you're a good one to try to battle pranks with.
All right, let's get to the Blitz Rock Rundown. Tess, what you got for us?
All right, let's start with Puddle of Mud. They're releasing a new album on May 2nd. It's called Kiss the Machine, and they just dropped the first single. It's called Beautimus.
What's it called?
Beautimus.
Beautimus.
I mean, it sounds like Puddle of Mud.
Yeah, impressively.
It's good. I like the song.
Yeah.
But can you trust Wes with anything?
Yeah. With all his legal issues going on right now. Yeah, I expected worse. That's pretty good. Hailstorm dropped a new single. It's called Darkness Always Wins. It's the first thing that they've released this year, and you can definitely tell that they're leaning into a darker, like more emotional direction.
Okay. Nothing against Hailstorm at all. This sounds like Pink.
A little bit.
This sounds like the pop artist. This sounds like a song she would sing with a little more guitar in it.
I didn't hear that until just now.
Yeah, I never thought of it.
And I listened to that song like 3 times over the weekend. 2025 is going to be huge for Hailstorm. They're touring with Iron Maiden in Europe. They're playing at Black Sabbath's tribute show, and then they're coming back to the U.S. to tour with Volbeat and the Ghost Inside. And they'll be in Cincinnati on August 17th at Riverbend.
Nice.
Linkin Park just dropped another new track. It's called Unshatter. It's one of the songs that almost made it onto their latest album, From Zero, when it dropped in November, but it didn't quite make the final cut.
Interesting that they would release a song that wasn't on the album. Why wouldn't you just release more music from the album?
Well, they are with the deluxe edition that comes out on May 16th.
Good old deluxe edition.
I will say this. They haven't put out a song yet that I don't like on this new
100%.
album. Yeah, I love
100%.
it. Love it all. And, they're headlining Sonic Temple Saturday, May 10th.
Yeah.
Cannot wait!
Did you see the forecast at the moment?
No, I don't want to look this far ahead because it always changes.
Well, partly cloudy, 80 every day.
Okay. Let's hope it stays that way.
Well, I mean, if it drops 8 degrees, is that bad? I mean,
It's not about the degrees. It's about whether or not the rain rolls in or not.
I'll take rain and warmth over a cold Sonic Temple.
True. There was one year where it was freezing.
It was terrible.
Yeah. All right, I have one more for you. Metallica. They're bringing back their marching band competition.
Nice.
They just added an insane bonus prize. This year, the top college band in the Collegiate Division I category will get to record a Metallica song and the EA Sports college football theme, both of which will be featured in a future version of the game.
Oh.
Pretty sweet, right?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was shocked that I got a notification over the weekend that they're releasing EA Sports NCAA College 26. And it's like, wait a minute. 25 just came out. There was all this build-up behind it because they hadn't had a college game in forever.
Yeah.
They finally drop it. And it's only been a few months, and now they're like...
It came out in August.
Did it come out in August?
Yeah, and that's usually Madden and now this one, they'll probably come out every August.
So 8 months, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to make a new one every year.
Yeah.
You know, because you want the new rosters.
Of course.
Of course, I'd be fine if they just would update and have a download.
I don't understand. With all the things they can do with technology nowadays, when trades are made on football teams and stuff, the fact that it's not updated in the game instantly is so strange to me.
If it's in the season of that game, like if Madden comes out this August and something happens during this coming season, it will be. They will make adjustments. You can
right, but not if there's a trade mid-season. That's what I'm saying. If there's a trade mid-season, they don't update the rosters and trade players.
Well, I think they do.
Okay.
You can get an update for the game mid-season, and if a trade happens, yeah,
and it puts the other. Okay.
Yeah. It didn't used to be that way.
It's the Rock Rundown, not the video game report.
No, it'd be super cool to hear you guys go on.
Kelly and I are looking at each other like, okay, here we go.
Sorry. Wow. Tell us how you really feel, Kelly.
I only felt comfortable because both Tess and I were rolling our eyes.
All right, Tess is a friggin' gamer. I don't want to hear it. She is a diehard gamer.
Yeah, but I don't play sports games.
I know.
So hard eye roll, okay?
It's unbelievable to me, Tess, that in today's video game technology, when Link goes through the adventures on Zelda and he can't I have no idea where I was going
when
with
the
that.
zebra in your Animal Crossing game looks like a deer, you know. Hey, real quick, speaking of Metallica, Kirk Hammett and Sammy Hagar are collaborating together. They're going to make a song called The Seven Sisters that's about aliens.
What?
Yeah, Kirk Hammett, guitars from Metallica, and Sammy Hagar are making that song.
Okay. Knock yourself out.
Wait, I'd rather hear about sports video games.
That was your Blitz Rock Rundown.
Thank you so much, Tess. You can check it out online, of course. We have her on the show every single Monday morning, right around 8:30 or so. We really appreciate it. Coming up next, we got to get into some po-po stories. A lot of people messing with the police. Can't do that. We'll have all of it in about 3.5 minutes, 99.7 The Blitz. All right, I don't know what it was about the weekend, but people really decided to mess with the po-po over the weekend. So we got to get into a bunch of po-po news. We start in Clay County, Missouri, where the Clay County Sheriff's Office reported that there was a chase with Eric E. Fraser, 53-year-old suspect wanted on drug trafficking charges. The chase occurred around 2 p.m. on Saturday, and authorities say they were trying to arrest Frazier on a warrant for drug trafficking when he allegedly fled from the city-county deputies. That is when he went swerving through the streets. The deputies did deploy a spike strip, which eventually made his tires pop, and he crashed. The interesting thing about this story, the instant karma, if you will, was he crashed into the front yard of a house, and the house had a sign out front that said FAFO. F around and find out. And he hit the sign, which brought him to a stop, and he was promptly arrested by police. Instant karma. We stay in Missouri, Osceola, Missouri, where police say they arrested a man who allegedly fled officers going about 102 miles per hour. When pulled over, they asked the driver of the 2008 Chevy, why was he driving so fast? And he said, well, my cousin told me that if you're going over 100 miles an hour, police won't pull you over.
What?
So basically, he was conducting a scientific experiment.
My cousin told me.
He was presented with a problem. He decided to design a thesis of will this happen? He put it into experiment. Tried to outrun the police at more than 100 miles an hour.
My cousin's speedy.
Came to the scientific conclusion that, yes, in fact, police will pull you over at 102 miles per hour.
I wonder if it's because, if you're going so far over the speed limit, they actually have to arrest you if they pull you over, and he thinks, well, they don't want to have to deal with that?
No. I think he believes that it's the safety concern, because sometimes it has been known that police will stop a high-speed pursuit.
Sure, yeah.
If it gets too dangerous.
Well, I would hope so.
So if you're going over 102 miles an hour, his cousin's thought was that, you're going too fast, they're not going to chase you, they don't want to create any problems.
Like you become invisible after 100 miles an hour.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Did he have a flux capacitor in his car, and did it reach 1.21 gigawatts? He thought maybe he was going to go back to 1955, just instantly just disappear. And finally, we end our Popo news with a WTF. What the Florida? Channel 6 News is reporting that Richard Christopher Smith, a 39-year-old in Highlands County, Florida, is facing charges of not only eluding police, but drinking while driving. Here's the thing. He had himself a little vodka spritzer in his car and offered it to officers as he was driving by. You're not supposed to do that. Here's some of the body cam footage.
Stop. Just give you a drink, that's it. Show me your hands now! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Put your hands on your ground!
Hey, when that happens, the old tase. We all know that sound. Yes, Smith was eventually tased and charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, battery on a law enforcement officer, 2 counts of resisting arrest, DUI, refusal to submit to a DUI, and petty theft. Man. Don't go offering your beverage to an officer while you're driving by if you're drinking and driving. You're supposed to hold that thing down below your seat.
It's a spritzer, though, so it's just kind of...
Does it not count?
I mean, it's kind of fruity, like little delicious fizzy...
So you're saying it shouldn't count?
I feel like he's being nice.
Oh, my gosh.
It's Florida. It's hot. Yeah. Little spritzer refresher.
Right. Here you go.
Just want to bring down your temp a little bit. Relax you. Help you out. Cool you off.
Maybe you won't tase me.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't offer up your drinks. That's the Popo News for you. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Jillian Schreiner, the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner, is due in court on Wednesday for attempted murder charges. L.A. police say while they were searching the area for a suspect, Schreiner came out from the back of her home into her backyard with a gun, pointed it at officers, and fired. That's when officers returned fire. The 51-year-old suffered a non-life-threatening gunshot wound during the incident. She has since posted a $1 million bond. A teenager dancing on the roof of a moving SUV in St. Louis over the weekend is dead after falling off and being hit by a fire truck that was responding to a fire. The police say the driver of the SUV was making a left turn from a light when the 18-year-old woman fell to the pavement, and then the fire crew had lights and sirens, etc., hit her as they were responding to the fire.
That's so unfortunate.
Yikes. Kim Kardashian preparing to testify in person in a Paris courtroom as she faces the men accused of robbing her at gunpoint back in 2016. Their trial begins today. Now, this robbery happened during Paris Fashion Week. When 5 men dressed as police officers broke into her apartment, she was then tied up and held at gunpoint while they stole nearly $7 million worth of jewelry. Now, a little piece of this that I didn't realize, there are 10 men and 1 woman standing trial. They're all in their 60s and 70s. They're nicknamed the Grandpa Robbers.
More old people crimes. I love it. We had a story earlier this morning about a 69-year-old that robbed a bank.
Yeah, right here in Dublin.
Yeah, and now we've got
the Grandpa Robbers.
Oh.
Who robbed Kim Kardashian.
Old people crimes are the best.
Now, I'm not saying that wouldn't be absolutely frightening to be tied up by people dressed as police officers, even if they're 70. I mean, that's freaky as heck. So I feel terrible for what she went through. But I would hate to be like, oh no, I don't want to be robbed by the Grandpa Robbers.
Right.
That feels embarrassing.
100% it does. Absolutely. But it does make a lot of sense now because Kim Kardashian is in Paris for the trial.
Yes.
Which might have or might be the reason why Kanye is now kicked off of Twitter because he put out a tweet saying, I should have had kids with Paris Hilton instead of Kim Kardashian.
No way.
Yep.
What does Paris say about that?
I know.
Good? Hard pass?
Probably hard pass.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, why are you bringing me into
maybe
this?
He saw the story, Kanye saw the story and was like,
yeah.
They never dated, did they?
No.
I didn't think so.
All right, those are your 3 things.
All right, so look, we have technology at our fingertips. It's good and bad. One thing we can definitely do, if you choose to do so, is you can put yourself out on the World Wide Web, whether you're making funny videos or your talents or your opinions. And that absolutely happens quite a bit nowadays. And it happened yet again over the weekend, as it does, because sports fans are everywhere, and sports fans always have their opinions. Believe me, I get it. I get it. I have been one of them to sit and yell at the screen.
Sure.
Why are you doing that? That was such a dumb decision. What are you doing, coach? I can't believe you called that play. Or, in particular, this past weekend, I can't believe you picked that player.
That's being a sports fan.
And so, sure enough, there was a guy who lost his mind when the Cleveland Browns finally selected Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. And was not happy about the pick. You've got that audio?
Yeah, he's a Steelers fan who wanted Shedeur.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was a Browns fan. No, he's a Steelers fan.
Yeah, he melts down after they passed on him in 3 straight rounds.
Okay.
And still didn't have a quarterback.
Gotcha.
What are we doing? We don't have a quarterback. Literally. What's the worst that could happen at this point? Oh, man, we don't have a winning season. We weren't projected to have one anyway. But we passed on a quarterback for what? Our quarterback room is Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph. Chris Boswell might be throwing passes this year.
The kicker.
Every single move this offseason makes no sense. We traded to get DK Metcalf. We've got George Pickens. We have wide receivers that don't have a quarterback to throw them the football. And we about to bank the future, the foreseeable future, on a 41-year-old man,
Aaron Rodgers,
who needs crack in order to make it through an offseason, who don't even know if he wants to play football anymore, or perhaps, what about if Kirk Cousins becomes available? A man who don't got no Achilles. We waiting on quarterbacks who don't got no motherfucking Achilles. Is this what we're doing?
He was obviously not pleased.
Oh, my God.
And I get
great.
it. As a fan, you want your team to win. You want the best. But here's the thing. We don't know what they know. We don't know what the GMs know. We don't know what the coaches know. We don't know what the scouts know. You can make all the predictions and opinions you want, but most of the time you ain't right. In fact, someone put together a compilation on TikTok I saw over the weekend, and I just have to crack up when I hear these sports fans, these Monday morning quarterbacks, these couch, what do they call it? Couch QBs?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. Here's a couple of the best. Here's one. Take a listen to this guy losing it over a pick.
The Buffalo Bills select Josh Allen.
Oh! Listen to all those fans so upset about Josh Allen. What's happened to the Bills since then?
They love
so
him.
mad about Josh Allen.
They love that
Here's
guy.
Another one.
Vikings went with Justin Jefferson. I am kind of unhappy with that.
Oh, I don't know. You have the best wide receiver in the NFL? Here's the more fans.
The Houston Texans select J.J. Watt.
I hate it.
Yeah.
You hate it.
Only one of the best defensive players to ever play the game. Here's another one.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Hurts, quarterback.
That has to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, does it now? Does it? Because I'm pretty sure you just won a Super Bowl with him. And then, my all-time favorite, take a listen.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second.
Really? This is why this organization will never win a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
We're stupid sports fans. Just enjoy the game. People dedicate this life to becoming coaches and GMs and scouts.
Oh, my gosh. And they bank it all on a draft pick?
Right.
These fans, it's like people always say, what'd you think of your draft? I'm like, ask me in 2 to 3 years.
Right.
You know, I don't know because it takes time, man. to find
Mr.
out.
Irrelevant went on to become the GOAT, the best quarterback of all time. Like, what? Just let them do what they do. Because then look at the flip side. Ryan Leaf, number one of all time.
Oh, so many busts.
Yeah, it's so many busts. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
All you got to do. 99.7 The Blitz.
Real quick, the Steelers got Will Howard.
They did end up with a guy.
Finally in the 6th round.
Yes.
I think they're going to be very happy.
That's going to be a great pickup in the 6th round, for sure.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up this morning. Little tidbits you can take with you throughout your day. Feel a little bit smarter. This is quite interesting. I did not know this. Ventriloquism started as a religious practice. The ancient Greeks called it gastromancy, and they believed the ventriloquist was getting messages from spirits in their stomachs and revealing them through a dummy. Really? Okay.
All right. Yeah, well, okay.
This fun fact I actually did know. After Top Gun came out, the number of men joining the Navy to become naval pilots went up by 500%.
Wow.
Yeah. It inspired a whole bunch of men to join the Navy.
God. That doesn't surprise me, but the power of a movie surprises me.
100%.
Sometimes, man, that's incredible.
But then you're getting all the what you think is the glitz and glamour and how cool it is to be a Navy pilot, not knowing how difficult it is, what you have to go through, the very specifics, because they look for certain things. You have to be a certain height. You have to have perfect vision. There's a lot of things that go into it.
Because you saw the movie from the time they got to Top Gun, not what everything they had to do to get to that point. You don't just get to go to Top Gun. You got to be invited.
Right. Yeah. The original name for Frank Sinatra's song New York, New York was Theme from New York, New York. Because it was the theme song for Martin Scorsese's movie New York, New York in 1977. And you may not know this, but that version was actually performed by Liza Minnelli. Sinatra re-recorded his own version in 1979, and of course that became the version that everyone knows.
Interesting.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but the NHL Stanley Cup can hold 23 beers.
I did know that.
That's 23 12-ounce bottles, just over 2 gallons.
Yeah.
Did you know it can hold 2,000 Monopoly hotels?
I did not know that.
That's another measurement. I don't know which NHL player decided to fill it with Monopoly hotels.
Who thought of that?
Because they all get to keep it for a day and do what they want with it. There are a lot of players that put alcohol in it and drink out of it.
So that means it would probably hold 4,000 Monopoly houses.
You would think.
Roughly.
Yeah, you would think. And finally, I don't know how this isn't on the books, or maybe it's just one of those things that was never put into law and they decided not to waste their time with it. They would just assume that everyone would know not to do it. But then if you do it, can you go to jail for it if it's not on the books and not illegal? West Virginia is the only remaining state that doesn't ban bestiality.
Again, not surprised. Do they know it? Do they realize it's not banned, I wonder?
I don't know.
I mean, I would think people have talked about this at length.
Or does someone go to the state legislator and be like, Frank Jr. banged the sheep again? And they're like, sorry, we can't do anything about it.
They're fighting against that banning because you're going to wreck so many people's love life.
Oh, could wreck. I thought you said erect.
Would wreck.
Oh, would wreck.
Would wreck so many people's love life.
Because erect would make way more sense.
Well, yeah.
It's 99.7 The Blitz.